Have you ever wondered how well you truly know your neighbor? This question became a terrifying reality for Amstetten, Austria in 2008. The quiet life of their neighbor, Josef Fritzl, was suddenly exposed, revealing a chilling secret. Fritzl was an accomplished engineer and respected community member. He had a wife, 7 children, and a home that seemed ordinary. However, beneath this facade, a horrifying secret was concealed for 24 years. This secret was a shocking revelation that rippled through the peaceful town and beyond. The exposure of this double life was like uncovering layers of an onion, each layer revealing a new, disturbing detail. The magnitude of the deception was staggering, leaving everyone in disbelief. The question that still lingers is one that haunts us all. But what could drive a man to such inconceivable actions? As we explore this chilling tale, we will attempt to understand what led to the most shocking revelation of the 21st century. Imagine living in the same house, yet a world apart. This was the chilling reality for Elisabeth Fritzl, held captive for 24 years in a hidden dungeon by her very own father, Josef Fritzl. This wasn't just a room tucked away in some forgotten corner of the basement. It was a labyrinth of small windowless chambers, ingeniously concealed behind shelves and doors, a prison within a home. Josef Fritzl, a man with a dark plan, designed this dungeon himself. He dug out the basement of his house, toiled for years to construct an elaborate network of rooms that would become Elisabeth's world for nearly a quarter of a century. It was equipped with a reinforced door, soundproofed walls, and a complex locking system. The dungeon was designed to be a prison, a fortress that could not be breached, not even by the most determined efforts. Elisabeth's world was a space of roughly 60 square meters. It was a cold, damp place, devoid of sunlight, fresh air, or any semblance of comfort. She was trapped in this claustrophobic cell, not knowing if she would ever see the world beyond those concrete walls again. And in this grim, hidden prison, Elisabeth gave birth to 7 children. These innocent lives were born into a world of darkness, never knowing the warmth of the sun, the feel of grass beneath their feet, or the simple joy of a breeze on their faces. They were the innocent victims of an unimaginable horror, their lives marked by the grim circumstances of their birth. But the horror didn't end with the physical imprisonment. The psychological torment Elisabeth and her children faced within those walls was equally harrowing. The constant fear, the isolation, the uncertainty, it was a life that no one should ever have to endure. A life of unimaginable horror, hidden beneath an ordinary home. This was the reality of the Fritzl case, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind the most unassuming facades. Sometimes the smallest crack can let in the brightest light. And so it was with the chilling case of Josef Fritzl. The first glimmers of truth began to emerge when Fritzl's daughter, Elisabeth, managed to persuade her father to take their gravely ill daughter, Kirsten, to the hospital. This was the first time in over 2 decades that any of them had set foot outside their prison-like home. Fritzl concocted an elaborate story, claiming that Kirsten had been left on his doorstep by the missing Elisabeth, who was supposedly involved in a cult. However, the medical professionals were not easily fooled. The hospital staff found Fritzl's story suspicious and alerted the police. The authorities launched an appeal for Elisabeth to come forward. In the midst of this, Fritzl made a fatal mistake. He brought Elisabeth out of the dungeon to visit the ailing Kirsten in the hospital. Seizing this rare opportunity, Elisabeth pleaded with her father to be set free, and shockingly, he agreed. Once free, Elisabeth did not waste any time. She told the police her unimaginable story, leading to the discovery of the hidden dungeon. The world watched in horror as the news broke out. The tale of a woman and her children held captive for decades in a cellar, right beneath an ordinary-looking house in a small Austrian town, shook people to their core. The media dubbed it the House of Horrors, a term that aptly captured the unimaginable terror that unfolded within its walls. The discovery of Fritzl's hidden dungeon sparked a global outcry. People across the world grappled with questions of how such a horrific crime could have been committed undetected for so long. The case triggered debates about societal responsibility, the failures of the system, and the monsters that can hide in plain sight. The walls of the House of Horrors had finally crumbled. But the echoes of the nightmare that transpired within them continued to reverberate. serving as a chilling reminder of the depth of human depravity and the resilience of the human spirit. Justice, though slow, is inevitable. As the chilling saga of Joseph Fritzl took a turn towards the courtrooms, the world watched with bated breath. The trial was a riveting spectacle, shrouded in the darkness of Fritzl's heinous crimes. He stood in the dock, accused of incest, rape, coercion, false imprisonment, enslavement, and the negligent homicide of one of his own children. Fritzl pleaded guilty to all charges. The weight of his confession echoed through the courtroom, a chilling reminder of the horrors he had inflicted on his own flesh and blood. His defense was a hollow attempt to justify the unjustifiable. His crimes were simply too monstrous to comprehend, let alone forgive. The verdict was swift and unequivocal. Fritzl was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, a fitting end, many would argue, to a man who had robbed his daughter and children of their freedom, their innocence, and their right to a normal life. But the Fritzl case was more than just a trial. It was a stark wake-up call for Austrian society and its legal system. The country was forced to confront the reality of the horrors that had taken place within its borders. The case sparked a nationwide conversation about the need for stricter laws and regulations to protect the vulnerable. In the aftermath of the trial, Austria implemented new laws to improve victim protection and to increase the penalties for sexual and violent crimes. It was a small step towards healing, towards ensuring that a horror like this would never happen again. Yet the impact of Fritzl's crimes was not confined to Austria alone. The case reverberated around the world, shining a spotlight on the need for vigilance, for community, and for empathy. It served as a grim reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unsuspecting corners, even within the confines of what should be the safest place on earth, our homes. Fritzl's reign of terror had finally come to an end, but the scars left behind were indelible. In the face of darkness, we must seek the light. As we unravel the chilling saga of the Fritzl case, it becomes clear that it has had profound societal implications. It has acted as a catalyst, spurring changes in attitudes and laws surrounding abuse, and highlighting the critical role of community vigilance. The Fritzl case is a somber reminder that abuse can occur in the most unexpected places, often concealed by a veneer of normality. It has forced us to confront the uncomfortable truth that there are monsters living among us, masquerading as ordinary individuals. This realization has led to a heightened awareness of the signs of abuse, often hidden in plain sight, prompting communities to be more vigilant and proactive in reporting suspicious activity. In the aftermath of the case, there has been a significant shift in societal attitudes towards abuse victims. There's an increasing understanding that these individuals are not merely victims, but survivors, demonstrating remarkable resilience in the face of unimaginable adversity. The ongoing recovery of Fritzl's daughter and her surviving children is a testament to this resilience. Their journey towards healing, while fraught with challenges, is a beacon of hope for other survivors of abuse. Their story serves as a powerful reminder of the enduring strength of the human spirit, even in the darkest of circumstances. The Fritzl case has also prompted reforms in the legal system, leading to stricter laws and penalties for abuse. There's a renewed commitment to ensure that such heinous crimes do not go unpunished, and that victims receive the support and justice they deserve. However, it's important to remember that these changes, while significant, are just the beginning. There's still a long way to go in combating abuse and fostering a society where everyone feels safe and protected. In the end, the story of Josef Fritzl is a stark reminder of the monsters that can hide in plain sight and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity.